We go to record. Here we go to stream.
It's happening.
Welcome back, everybody. I know you heard that one. After some incredibly hilarious technical difficulties through which, if any of my students are watching, I did not rage quit, even though I wanted to. We are here, we are back, and we continue. Rapid fire. What happened last time was that everybody fought some mermaids. There was a thing in the mermaid's neck. Only one person saw that. If you ask me which person that is, I can't tell you. I don't remember. Bob, in his head, heard the voice of his patron saying something in this world is gravely amiss. This stillness is unsettling. Beware the unnatural. And I'm glad I got to do that again because it was different than what I said the first time. You all heard my draft. You're welcome. And doobie secrets spilled. And as people were resting, Pinocchio, in his sentry form, half asleep, was able to observe a fairy, a spark of light, land on the big rad wolf's head. And that, everybody, is where we shall pick up today. Big Rad Wolf and Trad Cheddar are definitely asleep. I think Bob was also asleep. I think at the end of that last episode, this is what you get for not watching the end of your last episode, DMs. Everybody's asleep except for Pinocchio. That's what happened. We determined that Pinocchio could watch during that time, and so Pokio. Boy.
Tokyo!
Boy, oh boy, has it been a day.
It's me,
Catch 'em
Tokyo.
All I can do is say my name for the rest of the campaign.
Oh, perfect.
We find a shiny.
Okay, so, Pinocchio, you see this fairy land on top of Big Red Wolf. Honestly, glad we started this over, everybody. I was messing up left and right during that first one. Pinocchio, what do you want to do about this fairy, who does, by the way, not see you moving at all?
Okay. What does this fairy look like? What is their appearance?
Currently, what you see is just like a little ball of light. That's kind of all it is. Very original Peter Pan type situation, right? Just like a little ball of light landing there.
Got it. I would like to use my Blessing of the Trickster cleric feature to get advantage on dexterity stealth checks, and I would like to sneak over where, like, what this would look like is Pinocchio is like sitting straight up like in an L as he is like sleeping, and he's just gonna like start like bouncing slowly over to the fairy on his butt, maybe like scooching with his legs, getting a little bit closer.
A scoot bounce, if you will.
A
Scoot
scoot bounce, if you will.
Scouts.
Go right ahead.
It's a natural 20!
Ah.
That's why we had to wait to start.
Ah.
That must be it. Horrible. Great. Natural 20. I'm gonna roll just in case this fairy is able to see. Doubtful, but I'm gonna give it a go. Even with a natural 17, that's not gonna do it. You Scooch,
Aha.
Scooch, you're right next to Big Rad.
Okay. Is there, do I see anything more about this fairy, or is it still the glowing ball as I get closer to it?
As you get closer to it, you can sort of see a figure on the inside. I think for this, I am going to need you to make not a perception check, but an arcana check.
Ooh.
You could do arcana or insight. You could argue for either.
I would love to argue for insight.
Great.
My arcana is a +0. My insight is a +11.
Well, that is different, and I should have considered that.
That's
Damn.
several.
Well,
How do you get plus 11?
Well, Pinocchio can't tell any lies. That's part of what Doobie and I agreed on at the beginning of this campaign. So we provided him with expertise in insight as a way of mitigating the fact that I can't use my ridiculous deception. So that's
Ah,
a 22 on insight.
heck.
Awesome. You've dealt with fairies before, right? Pinocchio and the Blue Fairy have got a whole situation going on. Your fairy, the Blue Fairy, whenever you've seen her, like, comes in a ball of blue light that sort of elongates in front of you, and then you see her shape. This fairy, you're, like, looking into that little ball, which you've never been able to see your fairy in that shape. The reason you needed insight or arcana is because this isn't really looking. You're trying to, like, understand what it is you're seeing. And so what you're seeing is not really a form, right? You can't, like, see hands, you can't see anything, but you get playfulness, you get mischief, you get excitement, currently you get fear. But they all come in flashes. They're not all mixed together. You see, like, first fear, then apprehension, and like these emotions are filling up this little form all the way.
Sure. Ooh. Do I trust them or do I snatch them? Oh well, can I like hold a spell while I interact while I try the first interaction with this fairy creature?
I feel like that's a little bit like lying.
oh.
Okay, fine. All right.
You know,
Then
because I would have you roll a deception check if you were, like, holding
Sure.
on to a spell.
Sure. Okay, well, we're just gonna hope that I'm quick enough if this goes wrong. Pinocchio is going to, very stealthily, get up as close to the little ball as possible and be like, "Hey, you're not as sneaky as you think you are."
This little ball of light, which is what it is, freezes weirdly. And you see this thing's, again, no sort of features, but turns its attention to you. And you, again, on that very high insight check, you get fear and then you get determination really fast. And you hear a little, like, tinkling voice in your ear that goes, "You're supposed to be asleep right now."
Okay, but I'm not asleep right now, and I just was like wanting to see like what's up with you over here. You're hanging out on my butt's back, and I'm supposed to be keeping a watch, so I'm just doing my job. And
I just needed to deliver a message really fast.
oh, I'm a really good listener. You could tell me a really fast messenger or message.
It wasn't for you. It was for the big bad wolf.
Well, he's sleeping right now, so in the interest of letting him rest, he really needs his rest to rave. We could play a game of telephone. Well, if there aren't those in the universe, we could play a game of sending.
I don't know you, and I definitely met the big bad wolf before. So that I don't think that I'm supposed to tell you at all.
Well,
Is any of this waking me up?
This is like a teeny tiny little voice in
Okay.
Pinocchio's
Wow.
ear.
well, firstly, I'm Pinocchio. Nice to meet you from the Adventures of Pinocchio. I don't sign autographs. Secondly, well, this is actually the big rad wolf. If you're looking for the big bad wolf, that's a different wolf. But I know I can't say that because I can't lie.
Embarrassment fury, and make another insight check. This time with advantage. I know what I'm doing, everybody.
Okay, that's a 29.
Ha! Great.
Oh.
You see that the little ball of light around this being, while very bright, is starting to dim.
Please don't go anywhere. If you've confused the big rad wolf with the big bad wolf, then maybe other people would too, because you seem like a very smart, punctual, intelligent little creature.
That's very nice of you, I guess. Pinocchio, I've definitely heard those songs about you. Okay, so, make a persuasion check.
I knew it would come to this.
It always does. Is it
Not
opposite?
only did it fall off my rolling pad, but it went all the way across my desk, and I rolled a natural 1.
The little creature, again, that light is starting to dim, flits up and over a little bit and is like, okay, so I need to get going. You should really be asleep, I think. And she's going to cast a spell at you, and is going to make her own insight check against you. Doesn't get anything that is going to be super helpful. What's your hit point total?
My hit point total,
Yeah.
43.
You see a wave of sparkles comes out at you and wraps around your head, and instead of making you fall asleep, they just make you sneeze. That's not what that was supposed to do!
Why are you trying to mess with me?
I gotta go, but I need to... and she's gonna fly down and smack the big red wolf with the whole little the ball of light, like, lands on top of the big red wolf's head. Doesn't deal any damage, is very small. But Big Red, you are startled. Back up.
Whoa. 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 I had this crazy dream, bro, where like there's this wave and it was talking in this tiny little voice. It was really cute. And it had a message for the seashells of the sea. I didn't understand it, but it was beautiful, man.
You are really not the big bad wolf. Oh no. Oh no, no.
Oh, but
no,
I do.
no.
That's my brother. Who are you? I'm Big Rad, by the way. I can say, here's my little tiny finger. I don't know if you shake hands or
You
paws.
see the little ball. Actually, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I would love to. What do I add? What do I add? Only +1. Persuasion, you say?
Persuasion, please.
17.
She, like, you see a little, like, figure start to form. Unlike the blue fairy, this one does not grow. The light kind of absorbs into her little body. It doesn't fill her up in the way that, like, when the blue fairy shows up, right? The light gets absorbed into her and she kind of has this glow to her. This little fairy is not glowing, I think, in the way that Pinocchio knows that she should. But this little tiny figure, dressed in just a leaf, that she has, like, fashioned to her body, shakes your little hand and is like, "It is very nice to meet you, Big Rad. Um, something happened.
Oh,
Oh, so sorry. My name is Tinkerbell. And she does this big
I
bow.
heard about your friend Rhonda, right?
I've never met a Rhonda in my whole life.
Sounds a lot like you, bro. Maybe you have a twin.
Wow.
Well, maybe you were separated at birth and you're twins. We'll get into it later. Tinkerbell, it is just a delight to meet you. Thanks for coming to say hey. What can I do for you, Tinkerbell? Can I call you Tink? I have a hard time with your full names, you know.
Oh, I love a nickname. So I was with my bestest friend. He
Yes.
went out to go do some stuff because there are like protection things, and he was like, "I'm the protector. I'll go do it." And he went out. Boom! And then he came back, and he was very weird. He like
Yeah.
looked a little bit weirder than he did before. And then
Okay.
he's really strong, and sometimes he has magic, but like not all the time. And but this
Well,
time he used like all the magic, and then everybody froze.
oh no. I'm assuming that's not like a normal thing for y'all. That sounds pretty weird.
Oh, we
Who's
don't
your
freeze. Everybody's moving around all the time over there.
Is this back at the tree where we met all those little dudes?
Yeah.
I remember that. That was a fun place. It was a little scary. I thought they might try to kill us, but they didn't, so I'm cool.
It's
Um,
really a
who's
coin flip.
I'm getting that sense, bro. Who's
Yeah.
your bestest friend? Does your bestest friend happen to be Pete?
I don't think that anybody's ever called him that before. And her whole little body like glows red. I think at this point, Bob and Trad are probably waking up to see this interaction.
Somebody tell
Guys,
me.
Yo, bros, this is Johnny Tinkerbell. She said she doesn't actually know Rondo, which I'm confused about, but she said that Pete is being all weird and like he left to run some errands. When he came back, he was like super bizarro and he used up all their magic and it made them all freeze. Did I get it right, Tink?
Yep,
Okay, good.
definitely all right.
So
Um,
did Pete send you to get me or something? Or you just, I'm glad you
everybody
came.
everybody froze. It except me, but there was a magic that he used.
Yeah.
And it made me not feel good.
Oh man, Tink. Do you need like a little nap? You need a snack? Hey, I got an emergency blanket. It's gonna be a little big for you, but we can probably rip a corner off. What
That's
you feeling
very
like?
nice of you. I have to get back to the fairies can help me. The fairy magic can help me, I think.
Oh,
But I
Tink.
had to tell the big bad wolf. You know the big bad wolf. He's
He-
got an important job, even though
okay.
he's a bad guy.
He's not actually as bad as they say, but we can get into it later. It's more of a
Yeah,
persona.
I met. We're kind of a good friends. Um, uh, I have to tell him. I have to tell him that they all froze, and I gotta tell him about the purple. I gotta tell him
Purple?
about the purple.
The purple.
Think what purple?
Okay,
What
Tink.
purple?
I'm
Um,
gonna try to like hold her little self and keep her warm and just do tiny miniature emergency medicine if I can.
Definitely, yeah.
And
I'm hitting like a little spare the dying.
something.
you hit her
Oh,
with Spare the Dying as she goes into your hand and loses consciousness.
oh no. Oh, Bob, you still got that emergency blanket? Or did you? Oh,
Uh,
oh no.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like pull a
Just
little
wrap her up.
blanket out and
Thanks,
like
buddy.
take my hair cutting scissors out and like cut a little corner off of the blanket for Tink.
Uh,
Thanks so much.
you make her a
This
little
sounds
thing.
bad. This sounds really bad, man. She said she had to get back to the fairies because they got like a fairy doctor or something could fix her up real good. I don't know where the fairies are, man. It sounds like my only idea would be go back to the place with all those kids.
Well, actually, my fairy talked to me last night. Maybe I could try to get back in touch with her. She did, by the way, I wanted to tell you guys, she did warn me to beware of the unnatural. So it sounds like this is some unnatural stuff going on. So we should be extra careful, it sounds like. But I think I should try to get in touch with my fairy if it sounds like the fairy magic could help Tink.
Yeah, I think that's worth a try. Can you do that on the move, or do you have to be like chilling and sitting still to do that?
To be honest with you, I don't really know. I've never tried. Since I've been on vacation, I haven't tried to reach out to her. I could try to do it on the
Oh,
move.
Um,
why don't you go ahead, Tread?
well, I'm so sorry. I was a little confused. I was in the land of cheese, and all the cheeses and I were sleeping, and we were just discussing our choice of, pretzels or crackers to have with a charcuterie board, and then I woke up and there was this little fairy, and who, where are we?
Well, we haven't
On the
moved
beach,
anywhere
bro.
since we fell asleep, Trad. We're still.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, you curled up in my robes with a little bit of cheese.
Yeah, it's coming back now.
Okay,
Oh, where did she come from?
that's a
I
great
don't know.
question. I just woke up to them all chatting.
Okay.
I
I
had a
was
dream
kind of
about the waves and seashells, and then there was this little tiny little tank, and she was telling me just a real rough story, and then she passed out, and I don't know where the fairy doctor's office is, and oh, I feel
Oh,
awful.
I see. Yeah. Oh, so I am pretty good friends, pretty good pals with the fairy godmother, and I wonder if she's fairy godmother for all the fairies, and maybe she could tell us where the fairy doctor is.
Wait, Pinocchio, you were on watch. Did you see her approach?
yeah, she just kind of like flew over and like landed on your back and I kind of maybe snuck up and said hello and introduced myself and they were like, "Oh, we're looking for the big bad wolf." I'm like, "Well, you found the big red wolf." And then they were like, "I can't tell you anything." And then I'm like, "You can tell me anything." And then they were like, "I'm gonna try to put you to sleep." And then I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" And then they woke you up and then now they passed out and that's where we are.
Oh, I
Look,
see.
Gotcha.
Wow. That was such a series of events. So much has
I don't,
happened.
I don't know what y'all's like vibe with your different fairy bros is, but I say maybe anybody who knows a fairy, maybe we just take a quick two, call our fairy bros, and just, you know, pull in all resources we can and see what the goodness gracious could possibly be going on with little Tink.
Big Red, oh, does she know your brother, or do you know where your brother
Yeah,
is?
I didn't have time to ask her anything about that before she passed all the way out, but she said she knows Big Bad, which makes me a little confused because I look really different than Big Bad. But I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen him in a minute. Maybe he got a haircut. Um, but I think she said they're friends and that it was important. Oh, whoa, I super wasn't paying attention because I was so scared she was gonna just pass out. Okay,
There's something
I
about the
think she
purple.
said purple. We gotta go back and there's purple. We gotta warn Peter about the purple. Did I make up that? And then something about the big bad wolf is important. We gotta go back to
Yeah,
those
we had to
Wow.
kids.
tell the big bad wolf that everybody was asleep and about the purple,
This is a
I
lot
think.
to keep up with. I'm gonna try to, uh, and, Trad scampers down from Bob and is trying to write some notes into the sand.
Hmm.
So the last time I tried to contact my fairy, she kind of left me on red, sent me the voicemail, and before I knew it, I was falling through the skies, and that's when I met all of you. So,
Oh,
and then everything got frozen, and then they screamed at us that we were in the wrong story, and then we fell through the sky again, and so I'm a little bit hesitant to try to call my fairy again.
sure, bro.
I
That's
figure she's
reasonable.
busy, like she's super cool, so like, she's probably got stuff going on.
Does anybody know fairy CPR? I'm trained in a lot of different CPRs, but somehow fairies never came up in our lifeguard training.
I was
That
going to
seems
ask,
like a problem. Go ahead,
I
Pinox.
was going to ask if there's a way to tell if this fairy is affected by a magical spell or a condition.
Think you would have to probably cast detect magic in order to understand that.
I have detect magic.
Oh, would you please? Oh, I do too. I'm so silly.
If you think it's magic, it would be detect magic. If you think it's poison or disease, you would need to cast detect poison or disease.
I don't have any of that, bro. I just got my emergency blanket and some granola bars.
Okay, I've taken all these notes in the sand, and it seems like there's purple somewhere, and we have to get in touch with a fairy doctor, and this little fairy just passed out, and we don't know what's going on with her. I think I'm gonna cast something, and, see if we can figure out what is going on.
Yeah. Also, Benevolent Dubois, would I know where my brother is right now? Big Bad?
I don't think you do. You all move around a lot. You can cover a lot of ground.
We do love to travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Do
could
I have
try.
his cell phone number or like
Not a
a
thing
way to
that
contact
exists
him?
here. But I think you do know how to contact him. You all know
Okay.
that, like, you're traveling around a lot. There are, like, in each land, you all know of different places that you can, like, leave messages. It's not the fastest form of communication, but you could leave him a message for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
In the sand, you just hear Trad like trying really, really hard to cast detect magic because Trad has not yet realized that he's still half asleep and he cannot cast this spell in his rat form. I'm just a rat. I can't do it right now.
Why don't you let me take this one there? Just there, try it.
Thanks, Pinocchio.
Pinocchio will cast detect magic. This looks like he like manifests some like golden spectacles that he'll put on and just kind of like get real close up to the fairy, and then like all of a sudden those lenses will like come down like ching 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 ching, ching, like comedically, like it's all the way out, like, and maybe it's like kind of tilting down a little bit to look directly on the fairy.
You. Uh, this fairy has only not dead because Bob cast Spare the Dying.
Ah,
Whatever.
lifesaver.
Whoa.
You cast detect magic, there is some sort of like intense necromantic energy here.
Okay.
Oh,
Which-
poor Tink.
Oh.
Peter Pan is a pretty famous story, even in these lands. The bards have been singing of Peter Pan for a long time. He's kind of like an immortal figure here. And Tink's kind of always been with him as long as anybody has known. And you've never heard of him casting any big magic outside of like being able to fly and keeping up these you would assume keeping up these wards that guard everything, but I don't think you've ever heard of him casting like necromantic energy.
You know,
Certainly is not the vibe I got.
I got a very different vibe when Pete returned back to us. Like when I was just eating his toe cheese, he was really generous and seemed to love to share. And I love to share, and we seemed to have a lot in common. And then when he went away and then he came back, we didn't seem to have as much in common. He seemed a little different to me.
And he did potentially try to kill us, so I don't know. That
Yeah.
sounds like maybe the weird stuff that Tink was talking about when he went to run errands.
That's
Pinocchio.
definitely not justice for all.
Pinocchio, because you are looking so closely at Tinkerbell, you can either make a medicine check or a perception check.
They are equal. 7.
Something's up. This little
I'm a
fairy's
good.
losing it.
I want to break out some heavy and see if that helps. I'm
We
going.
gotta save her, Pinocchio.
Yeah. Pinocchio doesn't want any. Yeah, we're not dealing with this. Pinocchio will again kind of like uh wave his fingers around and take off his hat and begin pulling out like a mask and like a white lab coat and like a pair of forceps, and he'll like don on all of this equipment, and then he'll like bend over and get like have like he'll be like, Bob, I need you to mop the sweat. Just mop it anytime I say mop. And then he'll take out the forceps and like, you remember that silly game where it's like you find like the bone and like the scissors and everything.
Operation.
Parody.
I mean surgical.
Jury game.
There we go. Yeah. So he'll just start like getting
Yes.
down, and as he's like he's casting the dispel magic. You just hear like, oh, no,
You got this, Pinocchio.
oh.
Okay.
You know what you're doing, bro? No offense, but just checking.
You may certainly go ahead and cast Dispel Magic. You are going to have to roll for this, and you are going to have to roll an 18.
Can I give advantage?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I be helping because I'm dabbing the sweat, right?
If you can hit a 15 on an Arcana check, then yes.
Ooh.
I assume you have better Arcana than I do, Steve.
Ruby wants to kill this fairy.
I don't want to kill this fairy. Someone
What
might
if
want to
you
kill this
pers-
fairy.
What if I also use a spell slot on a dispel magic?
Huh?
Then yes. Advantage to Pinocchio.
Oh,
Great. Done.
again, you're a real lifesaver, Bob.
All right, so what am I adding to this? My spell modifier or like a spell attack?
It's so Dispel Magic, which I don't personally agree with, but we're gonna stick to the rule here, is just your spell ability modifier. But if you know
Okay.
how to cast the spell, then why aren't you adding your proficiency? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, well, I get a +5, so that means I have to get a 12 or higher. Is that right? Am I
13.
mathing correct? For DC
13
17?
or higher.
13.
Oh, I thought you said 18.
It's a DC 18, right? So you need a 12 or higher. Sorry, my math is bad today. No.
13.
13.
13.
What'd you
I
get?
got a 17, baby!
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes!
Let's go.
Thanks, Bob. The other one was a 2.
Woo!
Woo! Okay.
Yes.
What
this
does it
down.
look like as
We
the
got
two of you
this.
work together to dispel this magic?
I'm like, I'm fully talking to myself the whole time too. I'm just like, I'm encouraging everybody. I'm encouraging myself. I'm encouraging Tink. I'm encouraging Pinocchio. Everybody, we all got this. Bob, you're doing a great job mopping the sweat. Pinocchio, keep that spell going. Tinkerbell, come back to us, baby.
Trad is
I
very
do believe in you,
wide-eyed
Tink.
at this situation and trying now to like crawl back up Bob's robes to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think with my other hand, I'm like dabbing with one hand. I reach down with my other hand and like scoop Trad up so he's got a nice shoulder perch.
Thanks for the lift, Bob.
Oh, of
Pinocchio
course.
keeps like hitting the like ants until Bob like lets out those words of encouragement. Then like a shing, like anime style like cutscene happens of him just going like dun 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 dun, reaches down and just plucks the magic off of like, Tinkerbell and like holds it up with a ching.
You do exactly that, and you hold this magic up, and it is this like purpley green like little nugget of something that as soon as you hold it up, it lets out this sort of like ear piercing scream. Tink's gonna pass this automatically, but I do need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
You got it, Toyota.
I'm so good at those.
Hmm.
That's
Trad-
definitely not the save that killed me last episode.
Bob and Pinocchio can go ahead and make these with advantage because of those spell slots you were using for Dispel Magic.
Oh, thank you.
What
Out of
should be
10.
Constitution saving throw, Dewey?
Yeah.
We got that dirty 20.
You're good.
Okay, that's gonna be a 23.
You're good.
Whew.
Am I good with my 10?
Bob.
Oh no, Bob.
Oh no, Bob.
Well,
It's a
Bob,
12.
You have
Okay.
advantage, right?
Really
Yeah,
hard
I rolled an
12.
8 and a 9.
Hard
Okay.
12.
You immediately
Bob!
pass out and begin suffocating.
No,
Roll death saves.
I'll
Better
never
wait
live
for
it
30
down.
No.
Death save! Death save!
Death save. Okay, so no, but what does happen is Bob and Big Red Wolf freeze in place. That magic splits apart, and the pieces of it scatter to the winds.
Pinocchio?
Yeah,
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm getting kind of freaked out here.
Let me try something. And Chad just starts to nibble a little bit on Bob's hand. Very
No, stop
lightly.
that. Don't do that.
I was just trying to wake him back up.
Listen,
Uh,
when I told you to try ice, this is not the time.
2 more
I-
con saves from Bob and Big Red.
Oh no!
Oh, thank goodness. Oh. Okay.
It's a nat 20.
25.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh,
And what did you get, Big Red?
25.
Okay, both of you are frozen for a moment, and you are.
I rolled the second dice just for the sake of it. Both
Oh,
were
I
nat
forgot you said
20s.
2.
Get out.
I rolled 2 nat 20s. Look,
Don't use all
it's
your
not going
luck
to show.
now.
It's not going to
That's
show
a
with the
nat
virtual
40,
camera.
baby.
But hold on,
Nope.
hold on.
But we will see these sheep. Thank God for these sheep.
Doobie, I forgot you said,
There's
Oh my
one.
goodness gracious.
oh, wow.
It's the worst
I can't read
dice
it
to
at
read on a
all, but I
camera.
believe you.
Ain't gonna
and
work.
It's glorious.
But they're
Doobie, I
2
forgot
nat
you said roll
20s.
twice. Do you need to know my other one? It's not
No,
a
no,
nat
no.
20.
It was your second constitution. You failed the first one.
Oh, I
Um,
see. Okay.
And
good.
I'm just gonna tell you what this. I'm not gonna tell Bob what this does, and I assume he's gonna explain it to you all. You break out of it. Both of you understand that while you were frozen, you could feel everything. You
That was
were
awful.
paralyzed, essentially. You're not gone, not unconscious. You could not move, but the world was still affecting you.
Bob, I'm so sorry if I hurt your hand. I just was trying to wake you up because we didn't know what had happened.
No, I appreciate it. I heard everything. Actually, that was incredibly terrifying. We were fully present, but couldn't move at all. Was that the same for you, Big Red?
Oh no.
Yeah, man, it felt a lot like the first time I got sun poisoning and I just passed all the way out. But then on the way down to the sand, my brain was like, we're all the way on. And my body was like, we're all the way off, bro. And I could perceive, but I couldn't act. It's terrifying. I didn't like it. That's why I
Oh.
wear sunscreen, kids.
That sounds really scary. I don't
I
like
bet that's
that
what's
at all.
happening to. No, I bet that's what's happening to all those dudes back at the tree.
Oh no.
With 2 nat 20s on that Constitution save, I will honor this 2 nat 20s. So I think 1 in 400 chance or something like that. Especially for Bob, it's 1 in 800 chance. Bob, I think you understand, and you mechanically would understand that you get 3 Constitution saves before it is finished. Before that is a permanent effect that would need to be undone with some sort of incredibly powerful magic.
Whew. So yeah, it sounds. I'm glad we were able to get out of that, Big Red, because I don't know if you could feel this from within too, but if I feel like if it's kind of I don't know, this analogy doesn't really seem to make sense in my world, but it feels like a 3 strikes and you're out situation. So, like, but like I think if I had failed that 2 more times, it might have been a bit more of a problem.
Yeah, bro. I don't think I really got a sense of that, but hearing you say it is super not surprising based on what I experienced. So that's really good insight there, dude.
Yeah. It was like as
Well,
I was coming out of it, I felt like everything, but I felt like everything. I was like
Yeah,
really in tune with
bro.
what was going on kind of like it was like
But not in a
it was
good
deep.
way.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. So my question is, if that's what's happening to, actually, quick aside, is Tinkerbell still unconscious in my hand?
She's still unconscious. Anyone can make a
Okay.
medicine check to understand what's going on with Tink.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
certainly should not because I got nothing. But I strongly suspect that's what's going on with those boys back at the tree, and maybe honestly with little Tink here. And I'm of two minds. Part of me wants to race back there and see if we can do anything, and part of me wants to figure out since Tink was supposed to find Big Bad, I don't know, maybe I should figure out how to get in touch with my brother or something.
Totally.
what's gonna happen with those kids? I don't think they're okay.
I don't think so, bro. Pinocchio is touching his nose in a weird way that makes me think he has something to say. Dr. Pinocchio, uh, once you're done scrubbing down after surgery, what's in your noggin?
Yeah, so like, I can check in on Tinkerbell and see how she's doing. And I don't know if a 13 is going to really help me with that, but maybe it will. And then I have an out of character question. Like, where are we in our long rest? Are we finishing our long rest? Can I redo my prepared spells as a cleric?
Uh, so I think that there's a process for clerics to redo their spells, right? You wake up and you like have a meditation moment. I don't think that you've had that moment to re-prepare your spells yet.
Okay,
You have all gotten the benefits of a long rest. I think you just haven't had the moment to like re-prepare your spells, like get yourself ready for the day.
copy, copy.
This is just another benefit to playing a character that doesn't have a single spell and is purely muscle. I'm just saying, all muscles need to sleep. Although I find meditation is very beneficial. Anyway, getting ahead of myself, what are we going to do with our poor little buddy?
I'm a rat, so I can just see in the dark. I don't have to recharge much.
Does a 13 medicine check provide any information on what's going on with Tink?
13's not horrible. I noticed that Bob did not make a check. Bob, do you want to make a check or give advantage?
I
Oh,
could
no.
give advantage. I rolled a medicine check and I got a 5.
I could
Okay.
roll just for fun, but
Can I
yeah,
roll a medicine check, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got 7.
What do I add to it?
The number next to medicine on your character sheet.
That's a 22.
Ooh.
Uh,
Yeah.
Dr.
uh,
Trad is in the house, apparently.
Trad, you're a little rat. You're just about the size of this fairy. So you like scurry on down, do your little sniffy sniffs. Here's what you notice on that 22. Tinkerbell needs a full long rest in order to heal herself. You have stopped her from dying. You have removed this necromantic energy, but she needs that full 8 hours of sleep. Uh, Humanoids are sometimes affected by magic in different ways than fairies. Fairies are kind of their own thing. So I think because of all of your concern for those boys, what happened, you think that Tinkerbell was probably strong enough to kind of push
Um,
through that for a minute. Unlike everybody else. The third thing that you know on that big check is that there is Tinkerbell is bleeding behind her ear, on her neck. There is like a hole there, and it is like starting to scab up.
I don't have any band-aids that small.
Isn't that where the mermaids had like their little mark on the back of their necks?
Uh,
Trad stands up on his back paws and says, "So, I think that she needs to sleep more before she can get better. And I'm very perplexed. Do we think that what we saw in the mermaid's neck was purple? Or possibly in this fairy's neck? As a very small being, I know that us small beings have different effects when it comes to this kind of magical situation.
I totally forgot about that mermaid and her little thing back there. But yeah, I think I remember whoever saw it, sure wasn't me, but whoever saw it said it was purple. So, and Tink was saying the purple. We gotta go. This is terrifying.
So
I
I
did see
think
it
I'm gonna
behind their neck.
yeah, I think at this moment Bob's gonna be like, well, that's actually a really good, especially knowing that Tink needs to sleep. It's a really like good opportunity for me to show you guys something. And Bob is gonna take out his little sheep. He's gonna say, can we all link arms? Uh, everybody is gonna come together and link arms. Hopefully,
You have a sheep?
it's just a little
Yeah,
wooden sheep. Yeah, a little
it's
wooden
very
sheep
cute.
guy.
Oh, I
Did you
thought you.
No, no, no,
Oh,
not a little pet. Not a little pet. Hey, here's my pet.
He's got a flock,
Here's my
full
little
flock.
sheep.
yeah, totally.
Bob just comes with a trail of sheep behind him
Ah,
the whole time.
y'all haven't been seeing those sheep this whole time. Um, did you say link
uh,
arms sleepily?
no, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah,
Sneakily.
yeah.
Um, uh, Chad just wraps both little paws around Bob's arm. I'm holding on, Bob.
Amazing. I think all that really matters is that we're making physical contact of some kind. And with that,
Okay.
Bob is going to bring everybody into his genie's vessel. Um,
No
yeah.
way.
It's basically it's like mechanically it's kind of similar to like a one of the little huts, but it's like a 20-foot high ceiling, like like 20 by 20 room. You see it's decorated almost like a field. Like the walls are kind of like this like sky blue scumbly gradient color, and there's like a grassy floor in there, and some like furniture that kind of looks like bales of hay, but is actually like nice plush furniture.
And this is where your flock is, your flock of sheep?
There are a couple sheep that I've like scratched into the wall. Absolutely. And Bob's gonna say, this is my genie vessel. So I can disappear inside of this little guy. And so I was thinking maybe it would be a good place for Tink to get some shut eye while we go about what we need to get done.
Oh wow,
Dude,
it's
this is
really nice in
so
here.
cool.
Uh,
Like it in here.
Trad gets on one of the plush little chairs and just curls in a little ball and makes a little nest and says, I just still a little groggy and this is so soft.
I'm
So
gonna
she'll be,
make
like,
Tink.
safe in here?
What?
So she'll be like safe in here, and
Yeah,
we can just go out and about, and she'll be okay.
absolutely. And I'll have she'll be in my little sheep. And if anything, if anything were to happen to the sheep, I've tested this one out before. Anything that's inside in this area when the sheep breaks just appears harmlessly right outside where it used to be.
You really thought ahead, bro. That's impressive as heck. I'm gonna make her a little like pallet out of the scrap of emergency blanket. Does anybody have like a little piece of paper we can leave her a note? Because like I for one know I'd be so confused, bro, if I woke up after a hard day on the ocean in a field with hay bale furniture, and no one around except for some sheep. So I'd love to leave her a little note if we can
Trad
write real tiny.
Trad takes out a very teeny tiny little investigator's notebook and says, I think that you can use some of this, but it might have gotten a little bit wet from earlier.
I'm gonna just kind of back and forth real quick. I bet it's small enough. I bet it'll dry it off. Also, Trad, when I was thinking of writing a note, I was imagining writing it really tiny. And now that I'm thinking about it, I got these big old paws. Any chance you could write a real tiny, like a fairy sized note so her little eyeballs don't have to strain too hard?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be delighted. And I scamper over and scribble with my little claws.
Brad, you're 1.5 years old, and you can read and write. That's really impressive.
Oh, thank you so much. This is when the fairy godmother gave me a brain. I just didn't know all the things you could do.
Wow,
Uh,
this has been so enlightening. Thank you so much, Trad. And Bob, truly, like, coming in clutch here with this dope little sanctuary you got. This is great. Perfect.
Thanks. Yeah, it's we got to be a little careful with using it because right now it's just where we were standing. There's just my little sheep in the middle. So we shouldn't stay in here too long without some
We
sort of
should defend the
protection. But
sheep for sure.
yeah,
Protect the
uh,
sheep.
Trad, would you give me a history check, please?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whew. All right. That's gonna be an 18.
Uh, you've mentioned the fairy godmother a few times,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's starting to occur to you that you haven't heard from her in a minute.
So, as these events are developing, I'm starting to realize that I haven't actually heard from the fairy godmother in a little while, and that's quite odd because she said to me, Trad, I will be checking in on you to make sure you carry out our deal, and she sure was doing that for a while. And I thought maybe she was just getting to trust me, but that seems a little outside of her character, to be honest.
Have you tried reaching back out?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can talk to her, but other times I feel like she's the one who talks to me. I don't really know how it works. Masterful DM, how does it work?
You don't know, really.
Yeah.
You sometimes you do a meditation and she'll
Okay.
like speak back to you. Sometimes she like would send little messages via like bird.
Yeah. Sometimes in my cheese dreams, she'll appear and bring me a little tray of cheese, and we have a little chat. But yeah, she's kind of like an imaginary friend, I guess. Like I kind of just like talk to her when I'm sad or lonely, and sometimes she talks back, but sometimes she doesn't.
Hmm.
So, I don't know, I could give it a shot. Or maybe I could take another little nap, a little rat nap on that plushy chair, so soft and comfortable.
That's a question for Bob, bro. I would like to propose that we take this conversation outside per Bob's note that we got to protect the sheep, unless we did that and I missed it.
No, I
think
don't
this
think.
is yeah, probably perfect time. I was gonna say, Trad, I could leave you in here for like 20 minutes if we wanted, to take a little short rest, but I think at least I should pop back out and keep an eye on it.
Okay, well, yeah, Trad loves that idea.
Already asleep.
Well, whatever works for everybody else. Chad is slowly sneaking his way back. I don't want to be, and just uttering nonsense as he crawls back onto the floor. Chad has not fully woken up from his very deep sleep. He got really tuckered out after being Ratman for quite a while.
Amazing. Yeah, so I think I'll probably pop back out for now. Maybe we can take a little short rest for time to like you said, Pinocchio hasn't done his spell meditation yet, like doing little things like that. And then
I'll
come
pop
back
back out
and
with
after
you.
a short rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely trying to contact the fairy godmother in my rat nap.
Some cheese dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning.
Field of cheese.
So Bob, Pinocchio, and Big Red are all popping out of the sheep. Stunning. Please make dexterity saving throws.
What?
La la.
Do we?
Isn't it fun
I didn't
when I mess
do
with you?
anything.
Ooh.
Bob, you're welcome to do this with advantage. It's your genie vessel.
That's only a 14.
Okay. Stunning. You all pop out. Pinocchio, what did you get?
I got a 6.
Okay.
Oh.
Bye.
You all pop out of the genie vessel, holding hands, and are surrounded by rushing water. You see the sheep is about 30 feet in front of you, and you are all being carried in the same direction.
Is the sheep in the water or on the shore?
Sheep is in the water. Sheep is like
Ah.
bobbing, bobbing, bobbing in the water right in front of you.
I'm misty stepping on top of the sheep and grabbing
You
it.
misty step right on top of the sheep. No roll necessary. You grab the sheep.
Bob, you said it was going to be okay. You said it was going to be fine.
I wasn't expecting the tide to come in.
Let me tell you, Trad is dead asleep.
Yeah,
That's
you
on
can't
me.
feel any of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
That's on me, guys. I'd like to apologize. I'm supposed to be in charge of the tides here, or at least I've assigned that role to myself, and I didn't even occur to me. I was so focused on little Tink that I didn't think about the well-being of the entire crew. I'll never make this mistake again. I'm gonna start
Big-
power swimming towards the
Yeah.
shore.
Well, Big Red, you got a 21 on your dexterity
Oh.
save. So I think you clasp arms with Bob kind of immediately. You're welcome to make a dexterity check to try to grab Pinocchio. But Pinocchio has
Sweet.
failed his dexterity.
11?
Can I help?
What's your armor class, Pinocchio?
15.
You gotta hit a 15. You can do it with advantage. Cool. You grab on to Bob. Bob's holding on to the sheep. Pinocchio is like 20 feet behind you. You don't have to breathe, so we don't have to worry about any mechanics I may or may not understand. And you are like, you're basically just like floating behind them. As you are all.
Oh, the water's not like super fast.
The water's going pretty fast.
Okay.
The water is like you're in a
Outward?
current now.
Going away from shore toward shore.
You had, I think if you just look around behind you, you see where you came from, and it's like it's getting smaller and smaller in the distance, but you're being carried down the same way that you thought that you would be walking, right? Following the water
Oh, okay.
down. You are just
So this could be a good thing.
could be a good thing. Bob, because it is your genie vessel, you're welcome to make an insight check as to what happened here.
Yeah, definitely gonna do that.
For sure.
As you're doing that, like the Doppler effect of Pinocchio's going by, I'm just.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Either something accidentally knocked this into the water, or like a little critter had it with them. It was just like a little sheep in the middle, but it was something different enough that like the creatures of this place were like, oh, sick, a toy. And it was abandoned for like 5 minutes total, but that's enough for some wily creatures out here to do some mischief.
Okie dokie. So, lesson learned, folks. Unless we're really confident about where we are, like maybe in a house, somebody's always got to stay outside.
I like that plan, bro. Good plan. This is how we learn and grow.
We're learning.
We're growing, bro.
Yeah.
Does Pinocchio do since you said we're drifting the way we were already gonna go anyway? Does it feel like we're in danger here in the water, or are we like might as well chill? Or like, do I need to be throwing surfboards to anybody, i.e., Pinocchio?
You can make a nature check. You may do this one with advantage because this is your, like, situation. The water.
Nature, where'd you go? Okay. Yeah. 22.
Nice.
Yeah.
Water is dangerous. You're gonna have to keep your head above it. You don't have anything to float on. So people are gonna have to start making like athletics checks to keep themselves up, or acrobatics does not bother me either way. Except
Could I?
Pinocchio, who can't drown. But you are being carried in the right direction.
Could we use my little surfboard as a flotation device?
A flotation device. Absolutely. Pinocchio, you're
Great.
welcome to try to catch up with them, or just kind of like bob behind.
I mean, Pinocchio is still
Gotcha.
trying to work out like a meditation, so I guess he's gonna try to like catch up so that he can maybe sit on the surfboard and do a quick meditation to switch out some spells.
Gorgeous.
I'll try to swim us against the current for just a second to like sort of hold us in place for him to catch up.
Amazing. I'm gonna say between those things, no roll needed. You wind up catching Pinocchio. Pinocchio's not made of wood anymore, but floats like he's still made of wood. So you're just like,
True. Yep.
Still shining.
I think after last time too, Bob is like, the second that there's a chance, Bob is scrambling out of the water because this did not go well for me last time.
you want
You
to,
did not.
you're trying to
Not-
get over
not
to the
nec-
shore.
Not necessarily to shore, but like at least like if there's a surfboard, I'm getting on top of the surfboard, like trying to get as minimal contact with the water as possible. Just in eyes like darting every which way for mermaids.
Yeah.
Incredible. I am just gonna go ahead and make a luck check as you're being carried away downstream, just in case. Cool. You continue to be carried downstream. Yes.
Just a question. I am trying to contact the fairy godmother while I'm taking my little rat nap meditation time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. While you are all kind of just floating down, having probably a lovely conversation, and perhaps a slightly damp snack, we're going to cut away inside of the box, where Trad Cheddar is curled up in a little ball on a very comfortable looking haystack. And Trad, I'm going to need you to make a religion check.
Yes. Okay. That's gonna be a 12.
A 12. Sometimes you reach out for the fairy godmother, sometimes she just kind of like appears to you. I think it's probably pretty rare that you reach out to her, unless I'm sorely mistaken.
No, I think that's right. I think Trad, like, sometimes when he gets lonely or scared or needs comfort, will, like, talk to her, but not... He doesn't really understand how to actually reach her. He's just like, oh, this is the person who gave me my life.
Definitely. Yeah, so you reach out, you don't hear anything. And I think what's weird about it is that sometimes you reach out and just kind of talk, and you hear, like, on an old landline, right, when two people were on the phone, and you could tell that somebody's on the phone, but it's quiet. You don't, like, hear anything else. This is, like, the absence of that. Like, on your end, the phone is up, but it doesn't connect to anything. It's just kind of blank, void.
What's a landline?
Okay.
I was referencing something that Mia knows about.
Well, I was gonna say that was an age
Mia?
Oh, that is an age joke. Don't ask us how old we are.
Do we pick up the phone like this, or do we pick up the phone like this?
Who?
I can't do that right now.
Or like this.
Do we make hearts like this, or do we make them like this?
I don't pick up the
Oh my
phone,
God.
so where do I fall?
And we're back in here. Trad, you're still asleep. Unfortunately, nothing's coming from the fairy godmother, but it is weird, right? It's like, I think Trad gets the sense that something's up. Something's weird here.
Okay. Got it.
Cut back to our humans. kind of, floating down the river that now turns into the wide ocean. Yeah, it's starting to move through.
Can we go closer to the shore as it gets to turn into an ocean, guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, you see it. You're not there yet, but you see it starting to like widen open. And as you do, this trees on the shore, which you are still pretty close to, you have all been keeping yourself there with the help of the surfboard and our incredibly strong swimmer, Big Rad. The trees go from like what's in your backgrounds, right? Those like soft edges, big fluffy like leaves, into something harsher. You can see the lines of the bark, almost like if you were to touch it, it would flake off. You see individual leaves instead of this beautiful bush altogether. The lines here become harsh, and shapes start taking on more logical life. They are rigid and stone, and things that, from where you're all from, things are very soft edges, beautiful all the time. Things are like, you see like patches of dried grass, which you've never seen before. You can see the individual strands of all of the grass. I can't remember what grass is called. What?
Leaves.
Blades.
Well, because that's
Unless you're Walt
ridiculous.
Whitman and then leave.
That's why I can't remember, because it's ridiculous. Blades of grass. And something about you feel like you have left Oas and you are somewhere else now.
Oh dear.
Anyone feeling a little spooked out by those trees?
When you say that and you turn to Pinocchio, Pinocchio is like sitting cross-legged with his hands out. His eyes are like rolled back and black, and you just hear like throat singing as he's just like mouth open, and like a ghost cricket is like dancing across his head and around as he's meditating to reset his spells.
Okay.
If
Good
that is...
A ghost
I-
cricket.
I wasn't spooked out by the trees because I was so focused on how terrifying Pinocchio is right now. But now that you pointed out, those trees are heckin' weird, bro.
They are
Even
super
the
weird.
water feels weird.
What's wrong with that grass?
Bob and Big Red, go ahead and make history or insight checks.
Oh.
15? Insight?
16?
15.
15?
12 history.
Cool. History, Bob, I think you've like... it seems like it's
Oh, wait.
tickling...
Do I have my well-traveled thing? Does that give me advantage on this history check?
Yes, it does.
Ooh la la! Roberto.
Not better.
Worse. Okay, great. 15, Big Red. You have heard of a strange land from your brother, Big Bad Wolf, and also your brother, Big Vlad Wolf. You know Vlad lives around here. Usually, like, spends a lot of his time here. This is Harsha. This is the out of character, meta, whatever you would like to call it. This is the live action land. Everything else is animated except for here. So you have heard of this strange land full of these crazy, harsh lion situations. And now you see it for real.
Whoa. You know, I super did not understand what on earth Vlad was talking about when he described like one of his favorite vacation spots. But now that I'm seeing this and thinking about what he described, I think this is Harsha, y'all. I think I know a bit about that, which means Vlad might be around. Not helpful in that he's not big bad, but hey, two brothers is better than none, you know what I mean? uh, let's let's get this puppy to shore and chill out there because I would love to surf these waves, but I need to observe from a distance for a minute. To the physics seems different here and stuff.
I would like to observe you surfing as well. So yeah, can we get to the shore?
Yeah. I'll start paddling us real fast towards the shore.
Great. Pinocchio, I don't think can help you because it's trancing right now. You're making an athletics check.
I'm helping.
What's your athletics, Bob?
Well, I'm helping by being acrobatic.
Okay.
Well, and also I'm imagining. Oh, I guess I've been imagining us both like holding onto the surfboard with our legs in the water, paddling together. But I guess maybe you're on top of the surfboard.
Yeah, I'm helping balance. I'm on top, so I'm kind of helping balance to offset as you're paddling, like doing some like weight distribution
That's
stuff.
super important. Thanks, bro. So that means I can roll with advantage, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I got an 18 both times.
Okay, we'll take it. 18 is totally fine. You doggy paddle, I guess, over to
We're kicking.
kicking. All the way over to shore. You haul yourself up. Things feel different here. Everything is rough against your skin. Your skin, which is like smooth and perfect, no pores, no lines. This is like you feel it like scratching against your skin. Everything feels very uncomfortable. You feel even the water is like as it dries on your skin is like a little sticky from being so salty.
Same, bro.
Pinocchio wakes up and he goes, "Oh, ah, oh, what? I can feel every mustache hair. My bones. I feel my bones in my skin. I thought the pain of existence was bad enough. This is worse.
You have bones, bro? No, you didn't. I'm so confused.
I am too. Where are we?"
Oh yeah, you were meditating. Also, I want to have a chat with you later about that cricket thing that was like, woo. We'll
We
talk
don't have to
about
talk
it
about that.
later.
That's fine.
Okay, if you don't want to, that's totally chill, bro.
I
So
think too,
while
real
you're
quick, once we get to shore, I probably pop back into the sheep real quick and grab Trad, and bring Trad back out. Tuck Tinkerbell in again, like make sure she's got a glass of water if she needs it.
Perfect.
Little snack, little tiny granola bar. I'll fill in Pinocchio on where we are and such.
Yeah, and Trad pops back out with Bob. Trad, this is a weird place.
Guys, well, where are we? I'm suddenly very aware of my whiskers and all of my fur. Have I always been this scratchy?
No, bro, you're usually real soft and cuddly. Have
Oh,
I always been this like stinky and matted?
no, you've always been really cuddly too.
Thanks, bro. I was starting to my self-esteem is tanking.
Yeah, I've got a bad feeling all the way around. I couldn't find the fairy godmother, and I don't know. I'm starting to feel that I'm out of cheese, and I, I, I just. Chad is definitely experiencing like anxiety for the first time. Like
The
in
first
the well, so in the other lands, like Chad, I think like got the cartoon version of like
mm, mm,
stressed out or like
I see.
worried, but now Chad is actually feeling like the effects of like it's not cute anymore. Like his heart is racing and he's feeling like the little furs raise on his rat body like he's
Right.
very uncomfortable. And he's just like I'm very itchy and am I overheating or is something on fire or what's happening to me?
I super hate to do this to you, Trad.
Oh boy, what have I done?
You haven't done anything. That's me. The world here is very different, and I need a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage
Come on,
From
man.
me?
from you.
Okay. With disadvantage, you say?
I did.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 2. You said Constitution. That's gonna be a 7.
Great. You can feel the spores here, of the like grass and the trees, and they lodge right up your nose. And you cannot help but let out an enormous sneeze.
True.
Gesundheit.
Oh, yes. Ratman. Yeah, does Trout or Ratman have any context for this world?
Make a history check or religion, whichever you'd like.
Okay. Same either way. It's gonna be an 11.
11. I don't think you do. I don't think
Okay.
this is weird, but you know the world contains really weird stuff.
Okay. This is something I've never seen before. Oh, I've always thought these things on my paws to be really strange in this form, but they just got stranger. Where are we?
Harsha.
What?
Who's that?
Marco.
Hello? I'm Batman.
Investigating immediately.
beard.
Perception, investigation.
Whichever. Live your life.
Can I make one as well?
Yeah, anyone can. Oh, Bob.
5,
19.
8.
12?
19, 12, 5. You don't see anything around here. Bunch of trees, bunch of grass, big forest.
A 19? Nothing.
19.
Reveal yourself. If you are
Marco.
worth your courage and had any merit, you would face us. Strange.
You don't belong here.
Everybody keeps saying that to us. It's getting old. What do you mean?
Where do you belong, huh? Have you ever thought about that?
That's a great question, bro.
Ratman, please make an intimidation check.
Hey, Madman, come out and face me. That is going to be a hearty 15.
Ooh, a hearty 15.
Ooh.
You hear that same voice. Why don't you come over here and face me like a rat man?
Madman, the
Oh,
invincible,
both.
the inconceivable,
We don't know where you
the
are.
undeniable.
Bob, you get a little thwap on the back of your head. Ratman, you get one on the top of your head. Pinocchio and Big Rad, go ahead and make perception checks.
I'm spinning around.
14.
14, what'd you get, Pinocchio?
23.
23, a branch had come down and smacked Bob. And then also Ratman. Sorry.
Okay, so I thought that we might have been dead when we fell through the forest. We definitely are dead now. This is bad. That was a tree. The tree just moved.
You're a tree.
Okay, he used to be a tree, but he's not anymore, and it's super none of your business, so.
Yeah, that's super offensive, man.
Wow, that was really
bro.
mean.
How dare you? And,
Trees are cool.
Trees are cool, but the way that you said it to me, it felt really offensive and hurtful.
It was
Yeah.
condescending
Yeah.
and petty
It
from
was like
my
you were
vantage
trying
point.
to be mean.
You clearly have no spine.
You are correct. I suppose. What is a spine? And the
Whoa.
tree that you are all, one of the trees that you're all standing next to, you watch the bark like morph around and create this insane face, like high cheekbones, big eyes, glowing green, and they look at you. What's a spine?
Whoa.
Ratman just like gets yeah, sorry guys. Ratman gets really close to this tree. Who are you? Reveal yourself. Come out now. Are you?
I am a tree.
But who are you inside of the tree?
Getting really existential, man.
I continue to be a tree.
Ratman just does not believe. Like, Ratman is now circling the tree, like tapping the tree, like,
Stop
hello?
that! Don't
Is
touch
anyone
me!
home?
Get your hands off of me!
Come out and reveal yourself now. Ratman demands it.
Smack with a branch.
Hey.
What's your name? Can we know your name?
My name is Abra.
Well, bruh. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Bruh. To answer your question, we'll have to get back at you. But also, just, just wondering, like, why do you say we don't belong here? Like, we just kind of rolled up on shore and, you know, we're just a friendly group of adventurers. Don't mind Ratman.
You're all soft and fluffy.
I'm not fluffy. You must be confusing me with my other form.
Hmm.
You're pretty fluffy.
You have really voluminous hair, though, dude. It's like, it's gorgeous, man.
Oh.
Your hair is pretty fluffy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's actually quite alarming. I don't really know what to do with it. It's just sort of like up there, and I somebody told me once about this thing called a comb. Anyway, I need to understand. How did you become a tree? Did a witch curse you?
Does anyone else know how to get this guy to understand that I'm a tree?
No, bro, he's on his own trajectory of learning and growth, and like we super haven't figured him out yet.
He's very young. We're kind of like just sort of like helping him. He can read and write. He never went to school. He didn't
How-
have to, like,
How
do
old is he?
things.
Looks like a man, kind of.
He's like
I'm
one
a
and half.
man. Ratman. I'm the man.
It's like a year and a half old, I think.
Yeah.
A
It
year and a
depends on
half? At a year and a half, I was barely a sprout.
How
Well,
old are you, bro? If that's not like a rude question.
In fact, it is a fantastic question. Trees love to talk about how old they are, obviously. I
Uh-huh.
look at you all when I do this. I am 417 years old.
Wow.
Whoa, dude.
You are correct to be impressed.
So if you're like that old, you probably like know a lot of things. You're wizened, maybe.
I know a whole lot about what goes on in about a 2-mile radius.
That's pretty
Well,
good.
That's not too bad.
It's not really, especially for I'm assuming you can't like move around a lot, so that's like extra impressive.
Yeah,
This is
you
my
get
spot.
10,000 hours in.
It's a good spot.
Thank you. It is a good spot.
Would you know anything about fairies or like burning runes imprinted in people's skin or
like purple magic
Yeah, some weird purple magic stuff.
that freezes people. Like that.
Oh, please.
Bob is furiously taking notes on all of this as well as this is all happening.
Ratman is just scratching his head.
Big
I
Rat is
don't.
trying really hard to not imagine how to make a surfboard out of this particular tree. He's like, nope, nope, stop it. Those are intrusive thoughts. Stop, stop, stop.
I don't know about runes burning into people's skin. Seems horrible.
Not great.
Purple magic. I did see going down the current, the shore, a little ways away. There was a child-ish, tall child man, flying. The flying was a little purple.
Peter.
He went that way.
Oh, we know that child man.
That must have
We
been
do know that
Peter. He was
child,
flying. We know
When
a fly
was
guy.
this?
This
Hmm?
was about an hour or two ago.
So we could maybe still catch him. Maybe.
Oh.
So while we were
Yeah.
sleeping? Huh.
If
How
you were
tall is
sleeping,
this tree?
Well, that was sorry, Mr. Tree. That was actually more to the rest of the group who's been with me for the last day or two. Obviously, I didn't expect you to know.
Their name is.
well, I do know many things.
That's true, but I don't think
Bruh.
Mr. Abra, I don't think we were within 2 miles of you when we slept, so I just didn't assume that you knew about that.
You did not sleep next to me within 2 miles, I can tell you that right now.
We were way upstream, bro. It seems like we, I'm sure would have had a lovely time, maybe even lovelier than we did, if we'd been in your neck of the woods.
That is true.
I
I
guess-
provide excellent shade.
Dude,
Excuse
true.
me.
I don't know how much that
Mr.
would have helped us at night, but it's
Roast me.
the cover
Roast
was
me. I can
no the
take it.
cover would have been great. The cover's really great. I'm really
Thank you.
yeah.
Roast some
Excuse
pig.
me,
I'm tough.
Mr.
Yes.
Abra, sir. How tall are you?
Well, in fact, I am well over 60 feet tall.
Ratman starts
Dang.
climbing him.
Make an
be careful
athletics
there,
check.
little buddy.
That's a natural 20.
Golly.
Baby.
With all
You
the
don't-
dexterity of the rat you are. You scramble to the top of this tree. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, Ratman.
Mmm. Okay, that's going to be so sorry, my brain stopped. 16.
16. Here's what you recognize. First, this is a strange place. When the sun comes up in Bundiva, where you are from, it casts this like beautiful light on everything, very soft. This is harsh, except the sun is being blocked by something. You know what clouds are. Sometimes it's cloudy. But this is like like the light cannot penetrate whatever is above. Could be overcast, could be something else weird. But everything you look out at has this like sort of strange grayness to it. There's no sort of like color. All the color seems muted. And not just in the way that this is a different place. Landscape-wise, you are in the middle of a forest. You can see out a little bit. There's like a river that cuts in probably a few miles up that leads down to a castle on a hill. And that's about all you can see. You can see like little houses out there, but the forest really makes it difficult to like see all the way down.
No, there's something weird going on with the light in this world. And I'm not sure, but I think I see a castle in the distance. This is a strange place indeed. It's almost like the light is trying to shine through, but it's not penetrating anything, and there don't seem to be clouds in the sky. This is so odd. Bruh. Have you seen this happen to the light before?
What time is it?
Oh, um, I think I have a pocket watch somewhere. Did any of you know the time?
I think it's the morning. It's the morning.
I can assume, yeah. If I were familiar with the tides and the currents here, I could probably reverse engineer the time, but this is obviously my first time here, so I have no clue. Sorry, bro.
Well, this is not morning light. This is twilight light.
That doesn't sound right. Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What?
Like it should be getting darker now, even though it just got light.
The light is strange, I will say that.
So this hasn't happened before.
Not in my 417 years.
Or like it wasn't like this yesterday?
No, yesterday the sun rose. It was a beautiful day. The sun touched my leaves, and I felt myself grow another 1/4 of an inch.
That's pretty cool.
Yes,
That sounds like a big day.
trees are indeed
It
very
does.
cool.
They're very cool.
Yes.
I wish I could grow 1/4 of an inch a day. I'd be like super tall, but I'm just not. I'm just like regular tall.
Hey,
Oh well.
short kings, man. Short kings.
Represent, bro. Say, I got a question for you. Bro. So you don't know, you said you didn't know, I don't even remember the questions we asked because you didn't know the answers, so poof, they're gone. But have you seen like a dude who looks kind of like me in that he's a wolf, but not like me in that his style's real different. He's like looks real bad, kind of like a little rock and roll, a little punk, a little hardcore, um, or maybe different wolf that looks like kind of like me but different. His name's Big Vlad. He likes capes and has like a widow's peak
Vlad!
situation.
Yes!
Yeah, Vlad. Have you seen him around here?
Vlad does come down here every once in a while for his rituals. He likes to do them under not my shade, but green
He's
shade.
never had good taste. I'm sorry.
That is true. But he was here, I would say, 7 moons ago. Yeah, 7 days ago, about.
7 days or 7 moons? 'Cause those are, at least where we're from, that's different. I don't know what it's like here.
You see the branches are like,
It's okay. Time is a construct. It doesn't
7
mean-
sunrises.
Dope. Okay, that's super helpful. How often does he come here, roughly speaking?
Oh, I would say he comes down once a month, probably. Maybe more. He has been coming down more, it seems.
Which way does he go when he's headed out after his ritual? Or I guess maybe which way does he come from?
He heads back into the forest. I lose track of him about after 2 miles, but it seems as if, through our network, of course, that he's heading towards his own settlement. You see, there are 2 castles here in Harsha. There is Vlad's, of course, and then there's the witches.
Which castle am I looking at from up here?
Witch Castle? I don't know if that's Witch Castle.
Oh, I understand what's happened. Am I looking at the witch's castle or am I looking at Vlad's castle? Is there any way to tell?
I don't
Which castle
know.
is the
It's
witch's castle?
It is outside of my. But if you continue down, there are quite a few old trees, such as myself, that might be able to guide you in a direction.
Also, I'm thinking about fellow cheese boys. Let me know what you think of this, but I'm thinking about trying to detect any magic from this very bizarre sky.
Not a bad idea, bro. Couldn't hurt.
I do believe that the range of detect magic is about 60 feet. So if you are able to get within 60 feet of the sky, I will let you do that.
How, at the very top of this tree, how many feet from the sky am I right now?
Well, the sky is tall.
Talking about,
It's
like,
about sky height, you know, in our world.
I guess just how would I know when I'm 60 feet from it?
So I was messing with you. I don't think that you can get within 60 feet. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
My straight face has gotten too good.
You know, Vlad has told me something about these like machine things that can go super like tens of thousands of feet in the air. Maybe if we could get in one of those, we could try it. But I don't know if we're gonna be able to find one of those quickly.
Yeah,
So we might have to
Ratman's
put that
still
on the
like,
back
well, if I could get to this top branch and I could flap out my cape and then I could launch myself upward.
don't do it.
burner.
I
No,
think
dude,
you would just end up hurting yourself, Ratman.
Bad idea.
Ratman, because you are up there
Ratman.
looking for the sky specifically, go ahead and make another perception check. It'll be with advantage because of how tall you are.
I will find the sky. I am Ratman. What is this check?
Perception.
Oh yeah, baby, that's a nat 1.
Ooh, you are rolling with advantage because you are at the top of a tree.
Oh, thank you so much.
You got it.
Okay, that's a 12 on the die, and my perception is 5. So that's going to be a 17.
It gets darker the further inland you go. The sky gets darker. So you right now you're on the coast, and you like as you look towards the castle, which is further in, the sky starts to darken. So it's like shades of gray getting darker and darker.
So as I'm like trying to launch myself closer to the sky, I'm swinging from the topmost branch of Abra, and I just say, well, this is interesting. As I swing this way closer to the castle, the sky is getting darker, and then when I swing out towards the ocean, it's getting lighter.
What? We can't hear you. You're really high up, bro.
As I'm swinging this way, it's getting darker. And as I'm swinging this way, it's getting lighter.
I have no clue what he's saying to you guys.
He's just like talking louder and slower, and like it's not helping.
Well, sounds good, buddy. And I'll do my best smile and nod up to Trad.
I've got a
I don't
proposition.
know. Let's
Like-
hear it, Pinocchio.
We go to a castle, right? It's either your brother or it's a witch. And if it's your brother, then we've got some help. And if it's the witch, then we can ask them about fairies and stuff. Like, it seems like they'll know more about fairies than the... No offense, bro. But, you know, we're kind of interested in what happened to the fairies because we can't, like, get in contact with any of them.
Except
Yes.
the one that's unconscious in the sheet, but that's a whole thing.
Right.
I'll give Abra a real quick, just a Reader's Digest, just to hit the highlights, the sheep situation. Also, historically speaking, I feel like witches in my family have gotten along really well. We're often cast in the roles of villains, even though we'll get into it now, but that's not super fair. So it sounds like either way it's good. So pick the nearest castle and go. Is that the vibe, Pinocchio?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, like, a pretty cool idea.
Yeah,
Is anybody-
I'm down for that.
Batman, come here. Come down here.
What?
Tell us what you're
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Hey, bro, could you help a brother out?
Uh,
Can you talk to
Ratman, the branch you're standing on starts shaking, and you hear the voice go, "Get down! They want you to get down."
Oh,
me?
Rat Man is here to save the day. And I can I catapult myself down and kind of float down with my cape?
Uh, I'm gonna say pretty specifically, no, I will not let you fall from tall heights with your cape. Just for future things when you're like, but you let me do it that one time. I gotta say, nah.
I can't do an acrobatic I
You can
flip
make an
and I jump
acrobatics
up
check.
and then I woo. Okay.
And what?
Uh, yeah, this is gonna be 12.
Um,
Ratman
You-
tries to be really fancy. That's what Ratman's going for.
you
Just
leap
so you know.
gracefully, miss your foot hitting one of the branches, and tumble down, getting wrapped up in your cape.
And then I jump up. I've arrived.
We're glad you're here, bro. So here's what we're thinking. We're thinking we'll go to figure out which castle's nearest and head that way. And while we're going, you can tell us what you saw up in the tree, because you're like 60 feet in the air at least.
Oh, when I swang closer to the castle, it was darker in the sky, and when I swang closer to the ocean, it was lighter in the sky.
Spooky. Oh, so you know which way the castle is. You just saw the one?
I just saw one castle, and Abra here could not tell me if it was your brother's castle or if it was in fact the witch's castle. But either way, I could call my trusty steed, and we could try to ride on my pumpkin coach to the castle.
I mean, that sounds dope. That sounds dope to me. Let's go to the castle unless Pinocchio, you got a different plan, Bob?
No, that's a great plan. I like that. I just realized that if Peter had some purple magic, then we need to be suspicious of people that we would normally trust and look at their necks and stuff. Because if
Ooh, good
Peter
plan.
could be taken over in the span of taking a lunch break and suddenly wants to do terrible magic things with purple magic neck, then maybe we should be cautious about that going forward. That's all I'm saying. It was just occurred to me.
Immediately, I'm
That's a
scrambling
super good
around
point.
trying to see if there's any purple spots on Abra.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation or perception. Up to you.
Can I, while he's doing that, can I try to stealthily just glance at my buddies here and see if just check Bob and Pinocchio and Trad's necks and just like, but without, I don't want them to know.
So you're gonna make this check with disadvantage.
Me?
Yes, you. Bob, what did you get?
A really, really hearty, thick 8.
Arbor looks
Same,
fine to
bro.
you.
What'd you
Everyone
get?
looks great.
I'm gonna high five Bob. I think we're good, bro. Good check-in.
Everyone's doing
I
great.
will I will say Vlad has a really prominent thick neck, so it should be if we end, I don't know about this witch. I've never seen a witch neck before. Well, not this one's, but if we end up at Vlad's castle, we should it should be pretty easy to just scope it out,
Amazing.
Big Red, this is your brother, right?
Well, if it's not the witch, yeah. Big
Oh.
Vlad is my brother. He's got some odd habits and hobbies, but deep inside, he's a good guy. He's just a little rough and kind of bloody around the edges.
I didn't know if you had any way of contacting him, if saw him at family picnics or had some kind of messaging system, like a family message, perhaps.
Well, the family chat kind of petered out a while ago and all of us realized we'd all muted it. So what I remember hearing from that voice in my head that sometimes tells me important facts about the world I'm in is that there is a way to get in touch with him, but it takes a long time. So I figure we might as well just go to the house. Is that correct, voice in my head, DM? That it takes a long time?
Yeah, it's
It's not a
pretty.
quick.
It'll be about like from what Ratman could see up at the top. It'll
Hmm.
probably be like a 4 to 5 hour walk to get to the nearest
Okay.
castle.
And I imagine it'll take longer than that to do the like messagey thing to leave my brother a message.
Yeah, you could leave him a message here if you wanted to. They know to like look around, and you might even be able to tell Vlad like, "Hey, I left it on this corner instead." If you run into him, so you should be
Okay,
good.
Pinocchio.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because as I was meditating, I unlocked the power of the blue fairy, and she gave me a spell that I could potentially send a message. It can only be 25 words. They can respond to me, but I can only do it twice, and it is exhausting. It takes a lot of my power to do, so I prefer to only do it once if we're going to do it, so that I can save the rest of my energies for later. So, like, we
Well,
could potentially contact your brother Big Bad, or we could contact Big Vlad.
and we do
Dude,
have my pumpkin coach, so we might be able to get to the castle sooner.
um,
I will
have we seen
remind
your
you, Ratman, that your carriage fits you and one person on top if you're lucky.
Can we, like, skateboard behind, like in that video game, Pony Hawk's Street Racer or whatever, and you grab onto the side and just, like,
I have a lot of rope with me.
It's that's that longboarding game, right?
yeah!
We have rope and a surfboard and a lot of gumption, and I've done crazier things in my time as Batman.
I love you all so much. You're beautiful. No,
We need to ask cuter. Not
No!
with more, I'll get cuter. She's susceptible to cuteness.
Can we roll a charisma check against the DM?
let me tell you how high that DC is gonna be.
yeah, tell us.
If anyone has the enlarge reduce spell, you would be able to enlarge this carriage. There is magic to
Definitely
make it
not.
bigger.
Interesting.
I mean, if it's a 4 or 5 hour walk, we can just go.
Wow.
And
A
The other
couple
thing
of
I
us
was
could
thinking
go.
is everybody could hop into my vessel and we could just somebody
Ayo.
could carry the Ratman could carry the vessel.
Oh, Bob, I've
Dude.
always known you're a genius. I would have never thought of that. How did you? And Batman just peers over the top of Bob's head and is like, "How did you get that brain? Did you? What fairy godmother did you have?" Because Batman's convinced that obviously everyone gets a full consciousness from a fairy godmother or some like magic.
Well,
Someone's
I
gotta
didn't
have
get
to
my
talk
brain
to
from her,
them
but it's
all,
actually funny you ask. The good fairy does give me most of my magic, and she's the one who talked to me last night and told me to beware of the unnatural.
right?
Well, you're really smart, Bob. So she must be a really good fairy.
Bob, you want to make an insight check or a religion check?
Oh, I probably.
That's a scary thing for your GM to say.
Right.
I don't like that.
Especially in the way that they just
See,
said
when
it.
when you're
Stop.
cute at us, it doesn't work like when we're cute at you.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I see you. I see you being all cute.
What was I rolling again? Insight or religion?
Yeah.
Okay, so insight is gonna be 7.
Go ahead and do it with advantage, because I'm nice today, and only today.
Thank you, Doobie.
You're very welcome.
Ooh, this is so much better. Thank you so many. That is going to be a modified 21.
Nothing natural about that sky.
So my fairy kind of. So okay, well, that's interesting. So should we beware of the sky? Should we not go towards the sky? Because the fairy told me to beware of stuff like that. But then Peter's purple magic was also not very natural, and I think our other option would be to try to chase after him. So I'm feeling like no matter what's going to happen, maybe we just got to be really aware. Maybe that's what that meant, is whatever's happening, we just got to beware.
When things are scary, we must get braver. Our courage will carry us through.
I'm scared all the time, bro. It's just a thing.
But look at how you face your fear, Pinocchio. You are inspiration.
I really don't.
You are
I'm
inspiration.
a demon, bro.
Oh, my face hurts. All right, my vote is to bravely go towards the castle and hope that it's Vlad, but if it's the witch, we'll figure it out. All in favor say a thing, and all opposed say a different thing. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
A thing, and then I'll say a different thing. I don't know, bro.
I see what you did there. I see your meaning. I'm gonna, Bob, if it's cool with you, I'm gonna hop on into that sheet there and hang with Tink, check on her. If y'all are Gucci.
Would you want me to contact? Which of your brothers would you want me to contact?
I think bad, because Tink was like, you got it. And I think we might as well.
Purple.
If you can contact either. Thank you so much, Pinocchio. That's really cool of you.
Purple, right? That's the main thing.
Purple, and they need him.
And that everyone's asleep. Yeah, that everyone in OAS
Frozen,
is asleep.
OAS, purple, sleep. Got it.
Frozen.
Frozen.
But we can
we still have 21 words
feeling.
left.
That's the other thing. We're still feeling everything.
Yes.
They're like
Really
frozen, but they're
words. I've got to really condense. We need an editor.
I know one. And they said the list of 4 is maybe out of 5th of like, help. And that should be good. He'll get it.
Stunning.
I think that's a great message, Big Rad.
You know what? If you have the space for it, if you tell him like that time, let's see. Remember the trip to the mountains? If you tell him to remember the trip to the mountains, then I think that's like an inside thing from childhood and that I can explain in the sheet while we go, but it's a similar situation. I think he'll get it.
I channel pumpkin power to call upon my steed.
Your steed arrives. Everyone jumps into the sheep except for Ratman.
Sure.
Ratman.
Yeah.
I will carry the sheep.
You carry the sheep. You take off. Arbor goes, best of luck to you. And gives you a little push.
Thank
with his
you,
branch.
Tree Man. I hope you escape that tree one day.
Not my deal. Have fun. Alrighty. You head off through the forest, and 1 hour later, 4 hours by foot, 1 hour by rat coach, pumpkin coach.
It's a fast pumpkin.
And you arrive outside of an intimidating looking castle. This one is on top of a hill. You see lightning striking around this castle. And we're going to leave it there, my friends. We do not know which castle it is because I must, because it's who I am inside. I'm the worst.
And I'm hanging off of it.
I just love it so much. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here once again on these crazy summer Thursdays. We'll all be back maybe next week. We don't know yet. But because next week is the 4th of July, for those of us who weren't paying attention to calendars. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Hope you have a great night and week, and we might see you next week. And if not, I will post it somewhere, and we'll all see you the week after. Everybody say bye!
Bye.
Ah.
We're out.
I have to
I gotta
pee
pee
so
so bad.
bad.
Go, go, go!
Okay, bye.
A very